Hi there, my name is Neil Mackay. I like to call myself the real Mackay. Anyway, recently I was clearing out my father, Donald Mackay's old office at 85 East Road, Cambridge, and I came across the most remarkable set of books. I thought I'd share one or two stories from it, from within the pages of these books, which document the extraordinary ingenuity of the late Victorian engineer. So on this particular page here, I found, which was dated November the 1st, 1895, letters to the editor. I just found this extraordinary thing. Self-propelled road carriages. Sire, seeing your account of the recent trials of self-propelled road carriages at Tunbridge Wells, and seeing the subject was now of much interest to the engineers and the public generally, I have much pleasure in handing you a photograph of the experimental steam engine carriage built by me in 1881. This carriage was well known in Birmingham and district, and its working was most satisfactory. The only reason I had to discontinue my experiments was in consequence of the law prohibiting the use of steam-propelled carriages on the common road. Although the carriage made no more noise than an ordinary vehicle, and the exhaust steam being entirely condensed, there was nothing against steam, which I am very much in favour of now, and intend making another carriage as soon as the law has been repealed, which I hope will be very soon. I have much pleasure in giving you a few particulars of this carriage. The boiler was almost entirely composed of steel tubes and would generate steam in about 20 minutes to a pressure of 180 pounds to 200 pounds per square inch. Finding steam for 2 cylinders, 4-inch bore and 8-inch stroke, there were 3 different speeds for hill climbing, etc., and the engines could be thrown out of gear for going downhill. There was also double driving gear, reversing gear, and in fact, all the necessary contrivances were to be found in this machine. The steering was very satisfactory and quite easy to manage. When loaded with 10 passengers, fuel and water, this carriage weighed 3,500 hundredweight, and the speed on a good road averaged from 8 to 12 miles per hour. The steerer had entire control over the carriage, in fact, far more than a coachman has over a pair of horses. And during the whole of my experiments, which lasted for several years, I've never had the slightest accident of any kind. John George Inshaw, Clacton Road, Nishells, Birmingham, October the 19th. So there you go. That would have saved any problems with 20 mile an hour speed zones. It would have been a little bit on the uncomfortable side if the weather was inclement anyway. So there you go. That's the way that vehicles could have gone in 1895. But there is also the most extraordinary letter below it. So, as there have been some discussions in the various papers recently about finding a name for the new horse or mechanical carriages, and suggestions have been made such as automobile cars, self-moving carriages, auto cars, automotives, mechanical carriages, and last but not least, horseless carriages. I think that after the exhibition of such vehicles at Tunbridge Wells, where Sir David Salomons so humorously demonstrated that any ordinary vehicle without a horse was a horseless carriage, I will not trespass on your valuable space to go further into the merits of the other appellations, but venture to suggest that the words motor car or carriage would be a name given a clear distinction between new and existing ordinary carriages, besides implying a new mode of locomotion. Frederick R. Sims, 95 Billiter Buildings, Leadenhall Street, EC, October the 28th. Now there you go. That would appear to be the very first use of the words motorcar or in that sequence. So that's dated, just to remind you, November the 1st, 1895. Not sure that will catch on though.